Jim Jones and the rapper Cameron are beef. It's crazy. Let's get straight into it. I want to see this video from Chick Smooth. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure this.
YouTube chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chick.
I'm watching them. But hip hop takes for sure. Let me see. This damn thing loading so slow, guys. Sorry about that.
As far as like what's going on between him and Dipset. And I'm gonna be real with you, as a hip hop fan, I was not really feeling what I heard. It really seems like they never ever gonna get back together. Of course, Flip got right into it and he gonna ask Jim, will you ever forgive them? And you know, Jim kind of like an OG, kind of like an old head. He really give you some like solid advice. Like if it's somebody you really need, like you got a little conundrum on your hands and you really need some advice on which way to go with whatever you're trying to do. He seemed like the type of person that could really give you some solid advice.
So hearing you talk now, Cabo, seeing that you're growing mentally, you're growing, and do you still have the same look of not forgiving people in life? Like you have a very hard line, nigga. You cross me, nigga.
Here come Messy Marvin.
It's not messy. It's not messy.
Yeah, my lines are meant to be sniffed, not crossed. You heard me?
He got that. And I mean,
my lines are meant to be sniffed, not crossed. You heard?
Cabo, let that shit go, man.
Nigga, you like 70. You like 7. What are you? You're not in the streets no more. Well, let that Tekashi 6ix9ine tape tell it. But yeah.
I forgive. I just don't forget.
Okay.
What happened?
I can forgive, but I can't forget. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of sort of agree with what Jim said. Don't get it twisted. I'm a man of faith myself. And I know that, you know, you're supposed to forgive and forget. But at the same time,
where does it say you got to forget? Am I tripping? Forgive, turn another cheek. Forget would just be, like, come on. If someone does you dirty once and you forgive them, and then they do you dirty again, and you forgive them, and you forget. They do you dirty again, you forgive them, you forget all these times. Damn it, when are you going to remember? When are you going to forgive and remember so you don't get done dirty again? You could forgive and keep your distance.
The podcast content is not exactly always the real world. In the real world, sometimes you can't afford to forget, but forgetting is a whole nother ballgame. Why? Because what somebody did to you might be easy to forgive, but it may be very, very costly if you decide to forget. Why? Because that thing could come back and bite you in that. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes you may survive what somebody did to you, but sometimes you may not survive the next time. And the way Jim is looking at it, he's looking at it like he really feels betrayed. You know, like anybody who ever had like a brother that somebody you really, really considered your day one, and somebody you really, really felt a bond with on another level, like basically like blood couldn't make you any thicker. And they did some shiesty stuff. It's like, damn, I really can't ever forget that. Even if I forgive you.
I've had the exact example that I gave. I've had a friend that we considered each other best friends, and this nigga did me right. And I forgave him. And then he did me grimy again. All these times I would forgive him and then I would forget. You know, we start a new slate. After like the third time, I remember we had a conversation. I was like, how old are we? We like well off in our 20s, right? Yeah. Nah, I can't rock with you, bro. I can't. It'd be stupid. And I'm still to this day, he still tries to hit me up to try to, I don't know, check on me or try to see if we can be friends. No, nigga. I haven't hung out with you in like 10 years plus. Probably not as much as that, but a long time, bro. No, it might be as long as that. But yeah, I've hung out with you for forever and I refuse to. I'm good. You've showed your character, man. Like it takes a lot for someone to change their true character. Maybe traumatic experience, a lot of hard work. If you don't really see the, like, I guess, your faults, you can never change as a person. That same person I'm talking about, I kicked them out of my house. Mind you, they did something really grimy for the third time, maybe more. And I kicked them out. And then when I see them after that, it made it seem like it was all my fault. Like, oh, we're not friends anymore because you kicked me out. I'm like, did I just do it just for no reason? Yeah, they were staying with me rent-free for a long time when I had my first apartment. They lived with me rent free for a long time, years probably.
I kind of can't forget
but it was my fault,
especially when people make mistakes. But Jim asked a really, really good question. I was like, really, really a strong bar.
All right, man.
You heard?
Yeah, get up.
I don't dwell on too much. You heard? I don't let shit
not about
hold me down too much.
You. We be making mistakes. We all make mistakes in life. People come to speak and they miss you, they love you, and you just be hard line and boom. And at some point, part of growth
is a deliberate mistake a mistake?
No.
Oh,
it's a conscious choice. It's a conscious choice.
We all make deliberate mistakes at some point.
It's not a mistake.
It's not a mistake. If you know what
Queen's Flip talk like a nigga that never gets held accountable for any of the stuff he does.
If you know what you're doing,
what makes it a mistake is that it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah. But even if you do something on purpose, it happens. Your life is made for forgiveness and growth. I mean, you can do what you want. You're my man. I love you. But I'm just saying, I look at it from a different perspective.
It's something a mistake if you do it intentionally. And at that point, it's like he kind of spun the room and he kind of flipped everybody's opinions over on.
He's right, though, right? In the whole thing with him and Cameron, I kind of sided with what he was saying. But at the same time, Cameron did take unnecessary shots. And Jim Jones wouldn't be wrong for, not actually, rocking with him. They're too old, nigga. They don't have to squash anything. They could just move on. It don't even have to be an issue. But this whole you should forgive and get out of here.
On his head. So initially, it seemed like people were kind of side on flip. But then once he asked that question, it kind of settled into everybody the kind of predicament that he's actually in. And then it kind of started swaying their opinion towards where he was residing. He got a point. It's not a mistake if you do it intentionally. That's a conscious thought. And then it's like, those are a little bit harder to forgive than somebody doing something out of the ignorance of their heart. At a certain point, you could kind of tell that like it kind of settled into everybody like, man, Dipset might not ever get back together. And what's really dope about this podcast is like, everybody is really a hip hop fan, and if you're a hip hop fan and just hearing that Dipset's not going to get back together, it's kind of like heart crushing, right? Because, Dipset is Dipset. End of the day, right? One of the greatest hip hop collectors of all time, up there really with G Unit. Honestly, a lot of people debate all the time of whether or not they had a bigger influence than G Unit. Dipset came out and the entire.
That was years ago. Yeah, I could get as fans, you might want something, but nigga, I'm not pushing for it. I don't like to try to force people to be cool and all that. Nigga, it's fine. People grow. And sometimes they grow differently.
These clothes turn blood. You know what I'm saying? So it had a really, really significant impact on the entire landscape of hip hop as a whole. The way music was consumed and the way that it was essentially communicated in the streets. So a lot of people are going to be feeling that,
Do you hear what I said? I said, I forgive. I just don't forget.
Don't forget. But your forget is like not forgiving.
No, you're just saying things will never be exactly the same again.
Yeah, nigga, I want it the same.
Things never be.
Well, I don't care.
Life don't work like that.
Well, to me it do.
Why is that?
Don't worry.
Because it's just listen.
When a person shows you,
Queensfield got to grow up, bro. This thing is so immature. I don't care. They can tell people what to do with their life.
Who they are. Yes, we hear all that.
We know the rest.
And when God sends you a sign,
I got it. I just feel like
we Dipset fans.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. I'm still Dipset. I never said I wasn't Dipset. I'm the one that been holding the bird up for all y'all to say you're still Dipset. Else they would have been faded a long time ago. None of y'all will remember who we are. I promise you that. Remember that. I've been holding this shit up for 15 years by my lonely. Every time you saw a Dipset reunion, it was something that I actually put back together. Something that I reached back to do. Let's not do that. You heard?
So what does it take to get a
I don't know. Right now I'm on my mission. I got to get my bag. I need all this money retroactive. I need 93. Then we could get back to what we're doing. In the interim of me busting a move. You heard? But I need 93 right now.
But it's still equity you built.
Yeah, I get equity off it every day.
Not listening.
Oh, no.
I got to really side with this nigga.
I understand as a fan what y'all want. I understand what you used to.
Crazy. That's like me saying, yo, Queens Flip, go back to doing dumbass skits. Do some dumbass skits and hop out of a car. If you go crazy. What he used to do. But, I want to change. I want to do podcasting now. No. That's what I want. Just do it. That's what I want to see. But you have equity in it. That sounds real stupid.
For seeing,
that's crazy. I really agree
personal
with
friends for watching us in the game come around the same time and things like that, and understand what people see for the brotherhood that they watch. Yeah, that was a time. this is my time. I got a whole nother mission. You heard?
Yes.
For me, it's not about
Niggas got to respect my mission now.
And I respect the mission.
And I never down the bird. I still got the bird flying high. Still. You heard? Everything is about the bird.
When I listen to your album, you know, even when you don't say names, especially that first half of the album, it's a lot of references to we were brothers, we were this, we were that. For me, I want a reconciliation, not even for them as a fan, because I can go and listen to old records for that. I want y'all as brothers to come back together again and heal, even if you're on your own mission.
Even if the public didn't know nothing about it.
Even if I don't know shit about it.
Just said. It's like, yo, man. Oh my gosh. I was going to go watch this interview. I don't want to watch it now. I don't want to watch it now. That's what they do. They just keep pressing whatever they want on someone.
But you ain't got to tell us. We're all
Yeah, man.
How about this? How about you dealing with somebody you considered a brother, but all the time they might have not considered you a brother?
You think that's the case here?
Could be. Because my shit is on the line.
Yeah.
Everybody see my love. You heard? And that's for
I
all.
can't front. Cam made it real clear that they were never friends. They were never cool. You don't know him like that. He made it very
Come on, niggas. Niggas know how I move. Niggas know how I put it on the line, nigga.
I'll give you that.
Still to this day, I wake up out my bed for anybody that I love that need my help, no matter what the situation is. You dig? And yeah, sometimes I got to give it a long thought out. But I'm one of them people, you heard? I never faltered. And I still don't right now.
It's instilled in you.
And you don't regret it. Yeah.
I just say it all the time up here. I mean, even bigger than Dipset. Like, it's like a New York.
Nigga, shut up. We want to see you get back with Slaughterhouse, nigga. We want to see Slaughterhouse come back, nigga. Shut up. Like, what is wrong with people? Nigga, like, allow people to grow. Allow them to do whatever they want. I've had these conversations with friends, well, former friends back in the day. What? You don't mess with so-and-so no more, man. Y'all used to be so cool, man. I want to see it, man. I want to see y'all squash it. No. I'm too old.
Like,
I barely remember people's names.
that brand is iconic with New York. I wouldn't give a fuck if niggas outside of New York don't understand. So this might be the last standing iconic New York brand that transcends time. Like you saying, niggas might have forgot about it for a decade unless you was holding it up. But what about the niggas that didn't? Like 20 years from now, that could still be a thing. When you walked fucking Tank out, I thought of fucking 5 songs that could have played. I'm Ready, just mad records that would have tore this whole shit off.
And then you hear people just hating on the whole situation that they had something to do with.
Right.
Then you hear people talking down on one of the greatest walkouts New York City has ever seen. So what's that about? Bitterness? Jealousy? Because we didn't do nothing wrong.
What?
You heard? Now
You talking about wishing and hope y'all do this. How about you speak on it then? How about y'all speak on who y'all think is wrong? Instead of just ass kissing and trying to force somebody to do something that they don't want to do. My bad, guys. I'm over here eating cola gummies. It's one of my little snacks that I really like. I don't have them often.
all of a sudden our energy is bad. Like I don't, you dig? So let's get into that. Like I hear what you're saying, but let's look at the playing field. You heard?
Not wrong.
It's one of the illest walkouts ever.
I thought you looked great.
Ever in New York City.
He gonna dress up.
I thought he looked good.
He gonna dress it in.
I did look good.
Yeah, that's so brown. People say, yeah, your walkout was nice. Would have been good if you did some songs. The group project. No, none of your solo stuff. None of the stuff you're doing now that you're here to promote. Go do the stuff that was a camera for your walkout.
Get out of here.
I was like, you did it.
You did it.
Shout out to the champ.
We love you, nigga. You
Shout out to the champ. I appreciate
Took
the
me
look,
to
man.
Cheetahs.
You heard?
Took me to Cheetahs for it.
Yeah, that was a dope look. You know what I mean? That's bucket list shit right there. I appreciate that, champ.
And he already called Cam out for the fade already, saying he wants that 10 million. But now that he's saying he wants that 93, it looked like he don't really really care about that 10 million. He kind of just want to get in a room and, squabble real quick, squabble up a little bit. And a lot of people could relate to that because sometimes, people cross lines where it's like, talking it out.
There's a lot of people that we could catch that fade, my nigga. Like, I don't even want to talk.
It just might not be enough.
Fade.
Like, we kind of got to get right before we can ever be cool again.
Fade.
As a man, you kind of got to get right with me before we can ever be cool again because you cross a line that you really should have never crossed. And there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, we still brothers. I still love you after we get right. But
when I was young, I used to think like that, like, yo, we could just fight and then we get cool again. Bro, if you develop, I guess, enough of a sense of not giving a damn about fighting, your friends will too, naturally, especially if you're just fighting out disagreements. Then what's going to stop them from disrespecting again? Nothing. They're going to do it. They're going to be habitual line stepper.
We got to get right if we ever have a chance of getting cool again. And, at the end of the day, a lot of people can respect that. Jim actually puts up a really, really good point as well. He says something that's some people might find a little bit controversial, right? Basically saying that, he's the one that's been keeping the Dipset name alive for the last 15 years. And, to his defense, I understand why he says that. Because when you really recollect and you really think about it, in the last 15 years, out of all the Dipset members, who do you really remember dropping some music? It low key is only Jim Jones. Like, I'm pretty sure Cam dropped some stuff here and there, but, nothing that really got on everybody's radar, right? Other than that, Purple Haze 2 kind of was on people's radars a little bit, but it didn't really even get that much of a push. And it just didn't really feel natural. Not the same way like it feels like Jim is just really in tune and intertwined with the culture. It just seems like, when he drops, it's always relevant. I'm not saying it makes a huge Drake or Kendrick impact, but at the same time, in some way, shape, or form, it gets within your frequency. And that in itself is actually a skill.
No, that's not true. We talking about like 15 years ago? Cool. I will give Jim Jones credit for the fact that after Cameron and Jules, it's just the whole Dipset. Once like things started becoming less frequent when their releases, Jim Jones did hold stuff down. Now, was he doing weird stuff with the whole Dipset records thing and all that? Yes. But he was being active consecutively when Dipset as a group in total wasn't really being super active. Yeah.
Doing that for so long and doing it consistently for so long is something to be applauded, honestly. And it's something that he's doing at a higher level than anybody else in that group, if we're being honest. And it's crazy because I actually did a deep dive into it because I was just curious just to see what the numbers look like. You know what I mean? And when I looked, I was actually kind of astounded. So what I saw is that in the last 15 years, Jim actually dropped 15 projects, bro. Like he dropped 4 albums and 11 tape.
You just said it always hits your damn frequencies and you didn't know that he dropped 15 projects. I didn't know either. But that's to tell you, he's not really making big buzz unless it's like drama related, or I think the collab album he did with Mano got a little bit of attention, but nothing too crazy. If he was in New York,
some of them were collab tapes. He did some stuff with Mano, he did some stuff with Hitmaker. But at the end of the day, a project is a project. And he put out 15 projects in the last 15 years. That's an average of 1 project a year. That's crazy consistency for somebody, no disrespect, that's already past their prime. And when I say they're past their prime, I'm not saying that they're not as good at rapping anymore. I'm just saying as far as the way that their music is being consumed, they've passed the apex of when their music is being consumed. And that's just
actually,
a fair statement to say.
The best he ever rapped. I mean, I might not be listening to it frequently, but Jim Jones used to be probably the worst rapper in the entire Dipset. Occasionally I'll hear him do a little freestyle. I'm like, okay. You got something here and there, but it wasn't like really super, how you could say, popular or even appealing.
Say so. Don't nobody take that the wrong way, but it's a crazy feat to have after the apex of your consumption. You're dropping a damn near a project every single year. That's actually,
that's pretty impressive. Even if it's not really hitting huge numbers. Because I got hiccups. There's rappers that they'll release some stuff that's not really hitting huge numbers, and it's over. They're done. But it doesn't seem like that's the case with Jim. So hey man, keep going. As far as his beef with him and Cameron, I don't really care if they talk it out. If they do, that's on them. I'm sick of people trying to force people to do stuff. Tell me what you think down in the comment section.